This bill is co-sponsored by distinguished Senator Ningi, distinguished Senator Sunaso, distinguished Senator Oji Sokalu, distinguished Senator Kau, and the Deputy Senate President. Thank you, sir.
The Deputy Senate President, Senator Issa Jibril, Senator Bara Jibril, has distanced himself from this bill. So your observation is noted. The Deputy Senate President is already indicating his interest in this gaming. Maybe he has a company that is doing it.
I don't have interest. Thank you. I'm not a gambler. I don't gamble. I don't do that.
Agency and its governing boards charged with the responsibility of managing and regulating the national e-gaming industry in Nigeria with a structural approach to the administrative modulation of remote gaming conducted at the national or interstate basis and for related matters 2025 be read for the second time. Mr. President, my highly respected colleagues, permit me to lead the lead debate on the bill for an act to establish the e-gaming bill. This bill was read for the first time in this Allo chamber on Tuesday, 26 September 2024. The bill seeks to establish the National E-Gaming Agency to protect its cyberspace and regulate all online gaming. You will agree with me that the rapid growth of online gaming presents significant cybersecurity threats, including cyber fraud, identity theft, money laundering, and cyber terrorism. Therefore, there is need for a legislation to provide for a proper regulation and oversight of online gaming platforms, which can be exploited for illicit financial transactions and recruitment channel for criminal activities by both national and international interest group, organization, or country. The Senate will record that on the 22nd November 2024, the Supreme Court nullified the National Lottery Act, pursuant to a suit filed by Lagos State government, and held that the states have power to legislate over lotteries in their states. As it is now, there is no law in place by the federal government to control e-gaming in the country. However, the decision of the Supreme Court is limited to physical lottery activities and does not take into cognizance online gaming activities which occur within the cyberspace of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, an area within the exclusive legislative competence of the National Assembly by virtue of item 67 of the exclusive legislative list. Accordingly, this bill repeals the National Lottery Act of 2005 and enacts e-gaming legislative framework to prevent cybersecurity threats and ensure revenue generation from online gaming. The National E-Gaming Agency contemplated in this bill will be dedicated to e-gaming regulating agency that will help to monitor and regulate the industry by ensuring that e-gaming platforms implement strong cybersecurity measures, data protection policy, and compliance with financial regulations. Additionally, the agency will collaborate with law enforcement such as Economic and Financial Crime Commission, the National Financial Security Intelligence Unit, and the Office of the National Security Advisor to detect and prevent cyber crimes linked to online gaming, thereby strengthening Nigeria's digital security and safeguarding its citizens from cyber threats. Mr. President, my distinguished colleagues, this proposed legislation, in view of the wide coverage of the cyberspace, has the potential of generating massive revenue to support development of strategic projects of intervention across the country, as it is done in other jurisdictions of the world. Having this in mind, the bill also contemplates to establish e-gaming trust fund for remittance and utilization of offline gaming for developmental strides in line with best practices. The utilization of the proceeds from this fund will target projects and sectors such as security and public safety, access to improve through quality healthcare services, promotion of sustainable agricultural practice and food supply, sports and youth development / empowerment, advancement of education and skills development, access to clean water and sanitation, provision of social services and welfare programs, climate change mitigation and adaptation, disaster management, and provision of humanitarian services. Flowing from the aforesaid, you will agree with me, my distinguished colleagues, that the imperativeness of this proposed bill in the current dispensation of globalization cannot be overemphasized. Therefore, I urge you all to support the expeditious passage of this bill in view of the socio-economic advantage and regulation of the entire cyberspace to safeguard and preserve our national core values and norms. Finally, in compliance with Order 7.6 of the Senate Standing Order 2023 as amended, a compendium of the financial implication of the establishment of the e-gaming agency is hereby attached. This bill is co-sponsored by distinguished Senator Ningi, distinguished Senator Sunaso, distinguished Senator Oji Sokalu, distinguished Senator Kau, and the Deputy Senate President. Thank you, sir.
It's not the number of sponsors that will allow us to approve. So don't intimidate us. Let's just look at it. But let me hear from...
Distinguished colleagues, thank you for this opportunity to speak about this bill. If I'd had the previous insight into this bill, I probably would have discussed this privately with distinguished Senator brothers Karimi. However, it appears to me that this bill may also suffer the fate of the bill that we have just considered. To have a deep sleep and I will explain very shortly. If this bill is just about leader, Mr. President, it does appear that I either require your protection or I need to consult very briefly, and then I'll come back because.
The major thing there is that I'm not into God. It's the same thing. The Deputy Senate President is already indicating his interest in this gaming. But maybe he has a company that is doing it.
I don't have interest. Thank you. I'm not a gambler. I don't gamble. I don't do that. But let me commend Senator Karimi for showing rare legislative insight.
So wait, before you go there, does Senator Karimi really understand what he's talking about?
You sleep.
That's No. You are talking about online what?
Gaming.
Online gaming. It's currently not captured by the current law. The current lottery law
It doesn't capture it.
Does not capture online game, online betting.
I have the floor. I'll save you.
No, wait. I'm saying the current law doesn't capture. No. You have use your microphone now. Does
And also, sir, even the Act on Lottery.
don't you think we should withdraw it and then
No, let's
No,
you know what?
I'm coming. I'm saying instead of us rushing it, the Lottery Act captures.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So that we can be guided. Yes, sir. We need to be guided, sir.
Okay.
Mr. President, insight in bringing forward this bill. Why do I say so? Now, the Supreme Court ruled on 22nd November 2024 that the National Lottery Act was null and void. Now, it stated clearly that every state has the latitude to legislate on what goes on in terms of lottery in that state.
Take it easy. That is where I was coming to. The Supreme Court's latest decision
Yes.
is that the National Lottery Act is null and void, and that any state, particularly using the houses or assemblies, have a right to go into regulating their what do you call it, their lottery, which sometimes is almost sometimes what do you say? Huh?
Fiscal lottery. Call it fiscal lottery.
I didn't hear you.
Fiscal lottery. Fiscal lottery. Fiscal.
I'm saying that is physical lottery now. This one is this one is e-lottery.
Yes.
It's e-lottery. It's not the same thing as e-gaming. E-gaming is like e-lottery. So I think with the latest Supreme Court decision, going further with this.
Allow him now. Allow him. Allow him now. See.
Okay.
Order. Just continue.
Okay. No, what I'm saying is that the Supreme Court recently gave a judgment that the National Lottery Act is null and void, and decided that lottery should belong to states. Huh? He gave concurrence legislative powers, and not exclusive legislative powers to the National Assembly, right? So it's now concurrent, the state. And so what we want to do now is we should start our own. The other one you said was physical lottery, and the Supreme Court shut it down. We should now start with e-lottery, so that we now explain to the Supreme Court that in view of that we have a provision that they can also do their own law in the state. But we have forgotten that any law that is made by the National Assembly is superior to the state, to the law made by the state. And any provision therein that is in conflict with any law made by the National Assembly is null and void to the extent of the inconsistencies. So why do we suddenly revive a dead act? But if you feel that you want to, I think my own opinion is that we should actually attempt to withdraw it and then study the national. Am I right? That we should study the recently voided act and then study the Supreme Court decision before we run into another issue. So,
yes.
So
okay. What I'm saying, while I want to say that a lot of interests have been put into crafting this bill, and the normal tradition, normally, we don't want to kill the psyche or the zeal of senators who have put their energy together.
Even if it's in contravention with the Supreme Court decision.
I'm coming. You see, what he has done here, he has shown rare legislative innovation by looking at the entire space and seeing that the cyber gaming activities are not covered by our current law. And that was saying, so that government will not lose revenue. So to that extent, I think I agree with you, but we should allow this bill go. And then the committee, and of course, maybe we add Committee on Legal Matters, let them conjointly look at the entire thing so that they can come with their opinion. We try to not throw the baby with the bathwater.
That's what I was talking about. Approach the chair. Chairman, Judiciary, please say something.
Mr. President, I think that we need to first properly situate the judgment of the Supreme Court. And my view is that what the Supreme Court has said is that you really cannot make a federal law to regulate lottery. Whatever you call it, e-gaming, physical gaming, is the same thing. What they call e-gaming is an aspect of... Let me hold on for Mr. President to finish consulting.
Distinguished colleagues, I think we should not debate it in front of the Senate President. We should rather listen to the expert opinion from the Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Because my opinion was that it could be withdrawn, and then we study the Supreme Court decision to know whether it's... Okay, I'll put the question. No, I'll put the question.
Point of order.
The chairman, with due respect, chairman, legal matters and judiciary, the mover of the bill has approached the chair that in view of the Supreme Court decision, that he would like to go and study the decision. So let's hear from him. In case you study it and it turns out to be a decision, the Deputy Senate President, Senator Issa Jibril, or Senator Barra Jibril, has distanced himself from this bill. So your observation is noted. So, Senator Karimi,
thank you, Mr.
do
President,
the needful.
for guidance and the mode of the Senate. I want to withdraw this bill for further consultation. Thank you, sir.
Distinguished colleagues, of the bill has requested that this bill be stepped down for further consideration. Those in support say aye. Those against say nay. Karimi, you now know your friends. Senator Ababoro is saying I should put the question so that this bill can rest in peace. So the ayes have it. The bill is hereby stepped down.
Bill is sleeping.
Leader of the Senate, rest in peace.
The very good people of Kogi East. Mr. President, I want to thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to lead this debate. But before I continue, I just want to go down the memory lane to state that this bill actually went through all the rudiments at the 9th Senate, but was denied assent by Mr. President. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, permit me to lead the debate of this very important bill, which seeks to establish the national, it's actually national, not federal, the National Eye Center of Shadamu, to take over staff, assets, and liabilities of the Holy Memorial Hospital of Shadamu, Kogi State, for the prevention and cure of eye defects and diseases, and to establish a board to govern the center and an academic committee to take charge of the center's academic affairs and for related matters. The bill was read for the first time in this House chamber on Wednesday, 9th October 2024. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, Kogi East Senatorial District, where the center is proposed to be sited, comprises 9 local government areas: Ankpa, Basa, Dekina, Ibaji, Ida, Galamela, Odolu, Ofoloma, Boro, and Omala, with a population of over 2 million. The Holy Memorial Hospital, Ochadamu, which is a missionary hospital, was founded in 1948 in response to the needs of those suffering from leprosy. Subsequently, eye care became an integral part of the hospital due to the prevalence of eye diseases and related complications in the area. The eye care that was introduced into the program of the hospital is the only eye center in Kogi East, rendering services to patients within the state and neighboring states. However, this hospital is faced with a myriad of challenges, such as shortage of ward accommodation, insufficient clinical area, under-equipped theater, and power challenges. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, the centrality of the proposed National Eye Center to the overall health of the citizens is underscored by a recent study on visual challenges in Kogi State, which found that 128,000 citizens have severe visual disorders and about 8,500 are blind, a situation attributed to various factors. The study found cataract, the commonest cause of severe visual impairment and blindness, being responsible for 45.3% and 43% respectively. Furthermore, glaucoma, which is an optic neuropathy that presents with a characteristic optic disc damage and visual field defect with intraocular pressure as one of the modifiable risk factors, has led to several cases of irreversible blindness in the Senatorial District. This is in addition to other conditions such as corneal scarring and uncorrected refractive errors found to be among the major causes of blindness and visual impairment in the Senatorial District. Distinguished colleagues, the proposed National Eye Center will afford opportunities for early detection and treatment of various eye defects, including age-related macular degeneration citizens, which is important and cost-effective. Visual screenings and eye exams can help detect these eye diseases while they are still treatable, ultimately stopping or avoiding vision loss. This makes establishment of the center indispensable for maximum eye care in Kogi State and the environment. It is very important, as experts have advised, that individuals who are 60 years and above should have a complete periodic eye examination with follow-up examinations as indicated by their ophthalmologist. On this note, continuation of routine schedule of eye examinations is necessary to achieve good visual health. Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, may I emphasize here that the structures and necessary facilities for the takeoff of the center are already in place at the current Holy Memorial Hospital of Chadamu. Consequently, only an upgrade of the facilities will be needed for full specialized operations of the center. This implies that the financial burden on the government for the establishment of the center will be moderate. May I also inform my most distinguished colleagues that the operators and management of the Holy Memorial Hospital of Shadamu are in full support of this bill. I therefore urge Mr. President and my respected colleagues to support the second reading of this bill to facilitate the prevention and treatment of eye disorders, to enhance right to life and personal dignity of the Senatorial District and Kogi State generally, as well as some of the neighboring states in Nigeria, as enshrined in Chapter 4 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. Thank you, Mr. President.